Hello, my name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Welcome to my channel today. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Working up at the cabin right now, getting the addition put on. It's been raining for 2 days here. Went for a walk this morning. Decided I'd set the camera up and see where we head from there. Actually, you know, I've been working with all of my videos. We're going on the 5th year of the East Grand Woodsman channel. So I've been going in and cleaning up my videos as far as getting them into playlists, getting them a little more organized year by year. And by doing that, I've been looking, I mean, like I said, I don't know exactly where we're at. It's somewhere around 600 videos. But by doing that, I've been going in and watching some of these videos that I did back in 2018 and 2019, stuff like that. Back when I first began the channel. And some of them, you know, I mean, I'm sure I don't look at them with the same eye that you guys have. But I kind of do get a kick out of them because I remember where I was, where I was at, and what part of my life was going on then. I mean, the whole start of this channel was to keep my mind busy, as most of you know. That year, my wife had a really bad kidney cancer. And we almost lost her. Things are doing much better now, but it was still a touch-and-go situation back then. And I really needed something that would occupy my mind. So starting this channel was something that occupied my mind, kept me busy, not really dwelling on the situation. So anyways, long story there, but so anyways, going back in there and looking at all them videos and stuff, a couple of them that I really enjoyed doing was, and that's what was the birth of this channel, is what is a woodsman? What is a woodsman to me? And I did a couple of videos back then about it. And here we are, like I said, you know, I'm 60 years old. I've been doing this stuff since I was a kid. I think, oh, I don't know when I caught my first real brook trout. When I say real brook trout, I mean it in the, you know, 16, 17 inch area. Which to a kid, I got a picture of it. I don't know how old I was when I caught that night. I call it, you know, there's some fish that really leave a memory when you have this many years in. And other fish, they all kind of run together. You know, everybody talks about a lifetime fish. Well, over the years, if I had had only one lifetime fish, and I would have left out a whole bunch more, you know. Just have caught some amazing fish over the years. But 2 or 3 of them really stuck out. Whether it be the weather during catching them, or whether it be just the time. Like that one that I have is 16 inches. It was a beautiful brook trout. And I remember it because I was young. I remember the pond. I remember the boat. I remember it being the biggest fish of the trip. I remember, you know, just all kinds of stuff like that. I remember that there was a photographer there, a professional photographer in the campsite next to us that took my picture. And then down a few weeks later, an 8x10 arrived in the mail. And I still have that picture. I'm holding that fish proud as a peacock. So it's not the largest fish I ever caught, but it definitely has the biggest memory, I would say. So anyways, getting back to that, what is a woodsman? To me, what is a woodsman is a lifetime of memories, a lifetime of knowledge, a lifetime of learning. You're never too old to become a woodsman, let me tell you that. You're never too young to start. I've got grandsons right now that are considering themselves woodsmen. They know they're at the beginning, but they also know that they can learn. I have every time I talk with them kids, I talk to them about learning. Learn. Learn a new skill. Every trip we go on, I'll take out a skill that I know that is age appropriate and start with them on that. So that's what is a woodsman? A woodsman to me is someone that could go in the woods, take care of himself, be self-reliant, and come out of the woods the same way that he went in the woods. And I know that goes against a lot of the stuff that's on television for the last 10 years, reality TV, you know, where they come out of the woods almost dead because of lack of food. That's not a woodsman. That's not a skill. That's not, you know, that has nothing at all to do with the reality of being in the woods. Zero. That's not it. As much as they make for money, and you know, I'm talking about Survivor, you know, the Survivor show. That's just plain garbage. At the beginning, it was pretty good. Now it's just a bunch of cutthroats. What's the other one? Alone. I do like Alone on some of the seasons. Not all of them, because on some of them, they just lay there and don't burn any calories and make it to the end. That's how you win the show, but that's not what a woodsman is. That's not what a real woodsman is. There's no skill. There's no skill in laying beside the campfire and just waiting it out. I mean, because if another week you'd be dead. So that's not a skill. What's the skill? Learning how to die? That's not a skill. You know, a skill in the woods is being able to get a fire built. Today it's been raining. It's been raining here for 2 days. But you still got to get a fire built if you're out in the woods. So that having the right equipment with you, having the right gear with you. There's no skill in going out in the woods with zero, with no equipment. There's no skill there. None. You know, you don't need to bring everything except for the kitchen sink. But you do need to bring some gear. That's what a woodsman is. A woodsman is prepared. A woodsman has the gear that he needs. He has the ability to build a fire. He has a fire bag with him. I always have a fire bag with me. It's in my backpack. It's a small one. I've done a video on it. Go to my fire series. You'll see in there that there's many ways of building a fire on days like this. Going out in the woods with zero is not a woodsman. Going out in the boat with zero equipment is not being a woodsman. Getting on your four-wheeler with nothing except for the shirt on your back and going 100 miles out in the bush is not a woodsman. Going 20 miles out in the bush with no equipment on a four-wheeler is foolish. Or on a snowmobile is foolish. And we all know that I have a whole series on foolish. But that's not being a woodsman. A woodsman is prepared. A woodsman has a good sharp knife with him. Probably has a really good axe with him. I know I do. Always. I carry a couple of knives. I always have a hatchet with me. Always, always, always. Whether it's a snowmobile or whether it's the four-wheeler. It's just not something I go in the woods without. I always have a day bag. Always. In that day bag is everything I need to spend the night. Might not be much food in there, but there's something in there. Always something in there. You know, I can tell you in the bottom of my day bag, especially my boat bag, my boat bag, and I will do a fresh video on my everyday carry bag that's on the snowmobile and my everyday carry bag that's on the six-wheeler and the four-wheeler. Because that's how you go into the woods and be a woodsman. Prepared, you know. That other foolishness is not. Too many of the bushcraft videos on YouTube are loaded with gear that is useless to a real woodsman or to a man that has spent a lifetime in the woods. It's just something to think about. I'm not bashing anybody else's channel. I'm not, but a lot of that trinket stuff, that's exactly what it is. Trinkets. It might as well be a necklace around your neck because it has no no value at all out in the woods. If you bring out a piece of junk in the woods, expect it to operate like a piece of junk. Expect it to, anything that is garbage, when they're in a survival situation, it's going to fail you. If you go out with a piece of crap knife, it's going to fail you when you really need it. Or if you go out with a piece of crap flashlight, it's going to fail you when you need it. So don't invest in $1 million equipment, but don't invest in going to Walmart and for less than 20 bucks you can build yourself a survival bag. I've seen those challenges on YouTube videos. That's foolishness. That's foolishness. To think that you can go to a dollar store and spend $20 at a dollar store and think you have a survival kit for out in the real woods. That's foolishness. It doesn't mean that you have to go buy everything, but I'll take you through that bag. A lot of my stuff is homemade, or stuff that I've gathered up that has a different purpose. Everything in your bag should have 2 or 3 purposes. That way, one tool will service you in 3 areas of survival. But stuff like that. So that's my idea of a woodsman or an outdoorsman, whatever word that you want to put on it. What is a woodsman? Leave in the comments what your idea of being a woodsman is. You know, that would be interesting to read, and something that I would enjoy quite a bit. So, hey, take your time in the comments, leave me some comments on what your idea of being a woodsman is, and I will see you next week.